Children, what do you know about the earth? You know, we call the earth as a blue planet, and it is the only watery planet. It is the only watery planet contained the large amount of water than others. So we are calling it as the watery planet, and it looks like the blue planet. So the different types of water bodies are present on the Earth's surface. You know that what are the water bodies? The oceans, seas, ponds, lakes, rivers, these are all the water bodies are present on the Earth's surface. Am I right? Okay. So what is sea? What is ocean? An extension of saline water on the Earth's surface is called sea. It is nothing but it is a sheet of salt water on the Earth's surface is sea, like that. And the large areas of seas are called the oceans. Generally, oceans are the huge amount of water bodies separated by the continents. Oceans are the huge amount of water bodies separated by the continents. And these are the house stores for the fish and also other seafood and some minerals, and we are using them as the international transportways, waterways, like that. Okay, today we are going to learn about the oceans and fishing. This is our fourth chapter, oceans and fishing. Before going to that, we have to know about what lies under the surface water. Do you know? What are the things? What are the things are preserved under the surface water of the oceans or the seas? So, these are the ocean relief features. We have the physical features of the land. We know the mountains, hills, plateaus, plains, valleys on the earth's surface we can see. In the same way, in the underground of the water, and under the surface of water also, under the water also, we have the same type of relief. We can see the hills, mountains, plateaus, plains and trenches, valleys in the sea floor also. We can see this ocean relief. Ocean relief is divided here. Continental shelf first, that is the continental shelf. Then continental slope. Next, ocean sea floor, deep sea floor. And after that there are some trenches. Valleys in the oceans are called trenches. And they are very deep trenches. There are many deep trenches are there in the oceans. If we place the highest peak in the world, Mount Everest, in the trenches, it would drown. So that is the depth of that valleys, you know. So these are the relief features of oceans. And we have another picture is there, figure. In that figure we can observe the surrounding ocean relief features of India. You can see the relief features of Indian Ocean, that Arabian Ocean, Bay of Bengal. This relief looks like the mountains, hills and trenches and valleys. You can see that. So in the same way, how we have the different types of relief features on the Earth's surface, these relief features are also same type of relief features are also contained under the surface water. The ocean water is not still in position. It's moving. There are some movements of the water. There are three kinds of water movements here. The first one is the waves. Second one, currents. Third one, tides. Waves. The rise and fall of water on the ocean surface is called waves. The rising and falling of water. We can see in the small ponds also sometimes the small type of waves will formed on the surface of the water. In the same way, the rise and fall of water surface due to the wind force, they are formed. When the force of the wind is more, it will create the bigger waves. So these are the waves. Then currents. Current means moving thing. The water in the oceans, every day the water in the oceans are moving from one place to another place. Due to the change in the temperature and salinity and due to the winds, the water in the oceans is moving from one place to another place in a particular direction throughout the year. They are called like the ocean currents. Ocean currents. They are moving like the big streams. And the oceans also, there are some streams. They are moving from one place to another place. So these currents are divided into two categories: warm currents, cold currents. If the warm currents, generally the warm currents are warm streams. They move from the equatorial regions to polar region. You know, the high temperatures are there in equatorial region. Due to that hot water, warm water, this warm water is flowing towards the poles. So the currents which are flowing from equatorial region to polar region, these are called the warm currents. And the cold currents, you know, the polar region, they are very cold. So the water in that region moves from polar regions towards the equatorial rivers, in river side. They are called the cold currents. Warm currents, cold currents. Due to this warm current and cold currents, we have so many benefits. Next we go to the tides. What are the tides? The rise and fall of water level of oceans is called tide. In every day there is a rise and fall of water level of ocean. The water level is changed. Of course, there is not same rise and fall of water level every day. When the water level is high, the rise in the water level, it occupies more coastal area. The water comes towards the coastal area. And when there is a fall, the water will be backed up, reversed. So the coastal areas experiences these tides. Due to these tides, the tides are useful for fishing, and also these tides will take up the silt taken by the rivers into the ocean, and it is reducing the sediment deposits.